We're here at the Scotiabank Saddledome, where the Calgary Flames just dealt for Curtis Lazar and also got defenseman Mike Kostka in a trade with the Ottawa Senators. A day which we didn't really think would be all that busy to start off with.
Yeah, and I don't think these are significant moves in a lot of people's eyes, but it adds to the depth of this organization. And I think for Flames fans, the important thing to know from today is the fact that, you know, the moves they made with Michael Stone last week and Matt Bartkowski, and also for Curtis Lazar today, these aren't necessarily just rentals. Michael Stone is a UFA and may say goodbye at the end of their season, but there's a chance they could re-sign him. There's also a very good chance, well, they made it very clear, Curtis Lazar will be here for several years to come. So this wasn't a rental for a second rounder. This was an active young player who's already spent 3 years in the National Hockey League in exchange for a second round pick. I think pretty fair trade for the Calgary Flames. He can help them now, potentially, even though he's off season this year. But I think moving forward, you know, nobody thought this was the year the Flames should be rolling the dice and going for it anyway. So I think it helps them a little bit now and a lot in the future.
And the other thing, too, you mentioned it, but you don't want to disrupt the current chemistry they have right now. They've won 5 in a row after Tuesday night's 2-1 overtime victory over the LA Kings. And they're in a push. They're in a decent playoff push. They're in the first wild card spot in the Western Conference. So you have those things. And they're a young group. So you don't, again, Brad Treliving was saying today, you don't want a rental player. It wasn't for them to explore the rental market. So adding a guy like Curtis Lazar and seeing where that goes, and like Eric said, it's a long-term project for them. So and he's had a rough year. I mean, you look at his numbers, and they aren't great. He started the year, had mononucleosis in training camp, and didn't really get off to the best foot. So to have those things kind of going against him, you look at it and you look at his numbers, and you're thinking, why him? But the scouting report on him was quite glowing.
Yeah, they know this guy very well. Dave Cameron, assistant coach, used to coach him in Ottawa. Brad Pascal had him with Hockey Canada at several different times. They've done their research. They think that the upside on this guy, hey, this is a gamble. All trades are a gamble, especially when there's a young player who's, you know, not performed. But this gives the Flames 5 players who were drafted in the first round of 2013. That's pretty significant, and the upside on several of them is very good. So I think a very solid day for the Calgary Flames. We expected them to do very little. I'd say they did a little more than we thought they would do, and I don't think anyone could be disappointed in it.